The trial of Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich got underway in Russia overnight. The American journalist was arrested there 15 months ago on charges of espionage. Gershkovich, the Wall Street Journal, and the U.S. government all deny these accusations. Cameras captured the moment in the courtroom ahead of the trial start when he was in there. But beyond that, the proceedings are going forward behind closed doors. For more, we're joined by NBC News reporter Matt Bodner. So, Matt, walk us through what we've seen so far. Specifically, what are Russian prosecutors alleging here, and how is this trial expected to proceed?
Joe, Savannah, good morning. Well, things moved very quickly this morning with the court first allowing reporters and U.S. Embassy personnel access to Gershkovich before the start of today's hearing. We have these fresh images of him in that courtroom, appearing with a shaved head from the city of Yekaterinburg. That is where he was arrested last year. Previously, we've seen him a number of times in Moscow courts appealing his pre-trial detention. We've moved on from that phase today, of course, the trial beginning with that first hearing. The court did issue a statement after about 2 hours saying that investigators are accusing him of traveling to Yekaterinburg on assignment for the CIA to collect information on tank production at Uralvagonzavod. That is Russia's largest tank factory. The unfortunate fact of the matter is that we very much expect the trial to go on like this from here on out, that is behind closed doors. Espionage trials in Russia are often held in secret. The state claims that this is due to the evidence itself being secret, so we're very much unlikely to hear much about what is transpiring until he is presumably sentenced. That could still be some time away. The next hearing in this case has been scheduled, but not until August 13th, so about 6 weeks away. And I think it's also very important for the record that judicial acquittals in the Russian judicial system are exceedingly rare. They're less than 1% of cases. An acquittal in an espionage trial, especially during this war in Ukraine, is virtually unheard of.
So, as we said, Matt, he's been locked up for nearly 15 months now. What kind of support is he receiving from U.S. Embassy officials and also from the Wall Street Journal?
Sure. The reality of the situation, there's only so much that can be done at this point. He's very much in Russian custody. The embassy itself in Moscow is mostly a skeleton crew at this point for a bunch of different reasons. But they do attend every hearing that they are allowed to attend. Today, they were not allowed into the actual hearing itself. The Wall Street Journal, for its part, has obviously done everything it can do to support his case and keep this story in the headlines. But ultimately, Gershkovich is counting on mercy from the Kremlin.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has previously said he's open to the idea of a prisoner swap. Is that a realistic option right now, especially with what's going on in Ukraine? Where do we stand with that?
Anything is possible. Certainly with President Putin and the Russians, anything is possible. They can change their mind on any of this at any point. It's correct. We have heard him say that he thinks Gershkovich should go home. But unfortunately, we've seen no meaningful public movement on that. What we can do, I think, is look at analogous cases, those being the detentions of other Americans, such as Brittany Griner on drug smuggling charges, or more appropriately, Paul Whelan on espionage charges. In each one of those cases, the Russian talking point, without exception, has been that the Russian courts are independent. No talk of trade can begin until the court has reached a verdict. And then President Putin will have legal options to either pardon or conduct some kind of trade. We heard that again this morning from the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, reiterating that position on his daily briefing. It's unlikely we're going to hear too much more from the Kremlin on a potential trade until this trial has ended.
Yeah, I mean, and Matt, remind us, it is not just Gershkovich, but there are other people who have been in prison there for even longer. So that complicates any prisoner swap, right?
Absolutely. So right now we still have Paul Whelan in Russian custody, and that case is very important to keep an eye on. There are, of course, a number of others, but Whelan is extremely important here because he is the other American on espionage charges. There's been two major trades over the past few years with some of these cases. As I mentioned, Brittany Griner. There was also Trevor Reed, a former U.S. Marine who was incarcerated in Russia on charges of assaulting an officer. They both were traded for Russian arms dealers. Two names, actually, that the entire time that Whelan has been in custody for about 5 years now were always the names that were presumed or floated in the Russian press and other sources as the likely contender for who the Russians were trying to get in these trades. But both of those men have been traded back to the Russians. It's not entirely clear who they're playing for at this point. There's some talk about a Chechen assassin that the Germans have in custody. That, of course, becomes very complicated because it's no longer a U.S. to Russia trade. It's Russia, Germany, U.S. So there's a lot of mechanics here. But as you say, important to remember, Gershkovich is not the only one. There is another espionage case in Russia that has been going on for 5 years. Whelan's still there. There have been multiple trades. This could go on for some time still.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.